All right, welcome back to the Crimson Corner podcast, the podcast that covers everything Crimson and Gray in the Palouse. And today we have a very special guest. We are here with Coach Chris Citowicki from the WSU women's soccer team, first-year head coach coming in for a new season. How are we doing today, Coach?
Good. Excited to be here. Looking forward to this entire process.
Yeah, so tell me a little bit about how these first few months have gone. Bringing in a new squad, coming to Pullman. How's that process been going so far?
Yeah, couch almost makes it feel like it's therapy, right? I should just lay down so I can vent out everything. We actually just met as a coaching staff not too long ago, about an hour back, and went through everything that I've seen over the past 9 weeks leading up to spring break, and how the chaos and everything of putting a coaching staff together, making sure you got two teams coming together between everybody that transferred from Montana with me, everybody who was left over, and how can we get this whole thing moving forwards in the right direction? How have we done with fitness? How have we done with the mental side of things, on the field, off the field, everything? And really, really pleased with where we're at with things right now.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure. How have you been getting settled into Pullman a little bit? How is that kind of, a lot of differences between Pullman and Montana? What's that been like for you?
Yeah, definitely. But for me, it's wake up in the morning, come to work, go home. Wake up in the morning, come to work, go home. So I really haven't had a chance to explore Pullman as much as I want to. Weekends tend to be more free, but my kids are young enough that they're doing sports. So when I have a weekend off, I'm driving my son somewhere for soccer tournaments. So yeah, there you go.
Perfect.
Yep.
And so your kids do soccer?
Oh yeah, my son does. My daughter, no offense to her, not very athletic, but that's okay. She has other talents and gifts and extremely smart and a great reader, but my son is very active with sports, yeah.
What position does he play?
Oh, so weird, right? Boys go through puberty at different times. And
right.
So last year he was a goalkeeper because he was by far one of the least athletic kids all of a sudden on the team. Went from being younger, being very athletic, to losing it and saying I can be in goal and at least still be impactful on a high-level team. And then whatever happened since we moved here, whatever's in the Pullman water, has clearly worked because he's become one of the more athletic kids on the team.
Okay.
His footwork's never been better, and it's fun to watch and just to observe how kids change as they grow up.
Yeah, for sure. And working with a son who, is growing up with soccer, similar to how you did when you were growing up. What is that like, being able to watch him grow? And then what are you hoping to work him through, with your connections in soccer and all that?
Yeah, I love watching him play. I always grew up beforehand saying if I have kids, they're going to play. And then I had my daughter first. And I'm like, this kid can't play any athletic sports. So clearly I can't force her into anything right now. And so my son just happened to gravitate towards it. But then, if it's NFL season, all he wants to do is play football. So now we're outside throwing a football around, right? March Madness is kicking in now. And of course, that's the only thing on the TV at home. And so now he's just wants to play basketball the whole time. So he's just growing up the classic American way of whatever's on is what he's going to be into. I truly think his hand-eye coordination is unique, so he's going to be good at baseball. He's always wanted to try it, so I'll throw him into it. And we'll kind of see where it goes from there. But it's fun just seeing what he's passionate about and just letting him do it and have some fun.
Yeah, that's the best you can do, and hopefully you guys can get out to Bailey Brayton for a few games. That'd be
I
awesome.
can't wait.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's gonna be cold though for those first few games.
No, it's gonna be warm. I'm manifesting it, guys. It's
hopefully,
happening.
yeah, we're banking on that.
Yeah.
I think it's totally safe to say that you're a little bit of a family man. So
Yes.
what role does family kind of play in your career aspect? How big is that family aspect for you?
Yeah, it's a good question. You always look for mentors, right? And you try to follow certain people. Someone I came across about a year ago. So Montana, we had a ton of success. We went back-to-back undefeated Big Sky championships, right? So we didn't lose a regular season game at all. We're on fire as a program. And I'm like, I need to be tested here and told what I have to do better. So I find this guy called Ken Lola. And Ken was the coach on the men's side. He coached Louisville. He was #1 in the country numerous times, one of the most successful D1 men's soccer coaches ever. More guys to the MLS than anybody else. And he consults now with his wife. So I invited him to consult on my program of we're doing well, but you have to tell me when I'm not doing well, so my head doesn't get too big here. So he chopped me down in numerous areas. And it was fun to see the areas I had to improve in, what I could sharpen up in, but most importantly, it was fun to come across somebody who ran a family program the way that I want to run a family program. Him and his wife were in it together. She was never on the coaching staff, but she was always a part of the coaching staff. She was always there. And seeing Ken and Tina, their relationship, how they do the consulting, how they ran the program, opened my wife's eyes up to, that's what I've always wanted. I've been on my journey. She's been beside me on the journey, doing other things, never feeling truly invested. And here she has a mentor in Tina who's like, you can do this and feel like you're a part of it. And you don't have to feel guilty because he's off doing his own other things, right? Now we're getting into family therapy here. But it was awesome for her to run across somebody like that, to really open her eyes up. And so She's becoming more and more invested with this program, which is great. So because of that, the kids are more invested with it too. So my daughter comes to practices, my son comes to practices, Molly Rouse, my associate head coach, her daughter's at practices. It's a very family feel that way. And I get the same feel from Kirby as the football coach, who's like, hey, anytime you want to bring your kids out to football practice, bring them out, right? So it's such a cool environment that way. And that, think of the peace that gives me, knowing that I didn't have to go home feeling guilty that I haven't seen my kids all day. They're a part of this thing with me. And it's just gives me the peace to be the best version of me that I can be as a coach.
Yeah. Do you feel like that speaks a little bit to the way the Pullman and Cougar community has welcomed you? Yeah.
Yes, yeah, because you don't get that many places. Some spots you'll be told, and I know this, athletic departments will, if your kids are around too much, send you an email from HR saying, why are your kids here? Why's your family here? Right? This is business only, and that doesn't work. This community is pure family, and it's awesome.
Yeah, I love that.
I think that's probably one of the biggest strengths of WSU is definitely like the community around it.
Yes.
And so I think kind of if you were to speak to the community of WSU and Pullman as well, what can they kind of expect from you? What should they know about you? What's one thing that you would definitely want to get across to the community?
One of my goals always is to dominate the city and become almost the people's sport of the city, right? Really hard to do with football, right?
Yeah.
I understand that, but there's a market on the women's side. I don't mind being competitive. I'm not disrespecting anybody by saying I want to be competitive, but I'd like to have the top women's sport in the athletic department. I'd like it to be that way, as it should be, right? And so we're going to try to ingrain ourselves in the community as much as we possibly can, and it starts with the youth camps. Right? Because if you can get these 6, 7, 8-year-olds to be coming to camp, falling in love with the players, showing up and watching us play with their parents, because they can't come alone. So the parents are coming in now. You have captured 6, 7, 8-year-old plus their family, right? And that is leading, after success of 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years, generational support. Because that'll continue through. They'll go away. Some of them will come back and end up playing here, which is great. But one day they'll start bringing their kids in the way that they used to come.
Yeah.
The way that they came to camp, the way that they supported the team. And that's only available if we're available to the team. So no NIL when it comes to autographs, no. You sign every autograph for free, I don't care where you are. You will take a picture with any kid if that's what they want, because that's the way it has to be. We will connect with every single kid after a game, before a game, every chance that we get. Have the community fall in love with us. That's the way it has to be.
Yeah, for sure. And I can see that with how it worked, when you were in Missoula. I think I was reading something up the other day, an interview you did, and you had just talked about how important it was to you to see young girls in that community all of a sudden being like, wow, our local team is the team to beat, in the Big Sky and overall. And so moving that from Missoula, where you were able to bring that attendance up year over year over year to now where you are here, are you excited for that new challenge, and what heights do you feel like you can take the aspect of that to the community for yourself now and here in Pullman?
Yeah, you got to look. So I can, from my times coming here for games, flashback and see so many people in the stands that I'm like, dang it, I need to replicate that in Missoula.
Sure.
It's already here. The ceiling's being set. It's there. And so how do I just get that to be consistent?
Okay.
The message I hear from everybody all the time is, wait till the start of the season. You'll get a couple thousand, then the weather will get cold. It'll get smaller and smaller. You know what happened in Missoula? It was consistent the whole time because we were winning and playing well the whole time, and they were fully invested in the human beings that were on the field, which you get that investment through camps. They get to know the players. It's not, I'm coming to watch Cougars play. I'm coming to watch McKenna Smith play because I loved her at camp. She is absolutely amazing, and I can't wait to see her play, right?
Yeah.
And so tell the stories, have them fall in love with the people, have them come watch the people play, and then it grows. And I want it to be consistent across the board, and that's a goal that we're going to set with the athletic department of how do we keep this consistent. And I understand my job is to make it, a competitive program that wins. Otherwise, who's coming?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that kind of going off that, fans of the soccer program in years past, can they expect to see kind of a lot of differences in playing style? What would you kind of say to those people who are a little bit skeptical?
Yeah, in terms of playing style and stuff, good question. I feel like Todd's kind of fluctuated over time. It changed depending on the players that he had. We'll kind of be the same. It is going to be a very aggressive pressing style because I want the ball all the time. I want to score as many goals as we possibly can.
That's important.
Yeah, while also being creative. The push on creativity in sessions is nuts. It's something that I don't think they used to, but I need self-expression. I need to see you do something special. And I tell them all the time, people are paying money to watch you play. Our brand must be attractive. even if it's not because we don't have the skill set yet attractive, it's pretty attractive because of the way that you work your eyes off. Sorry, can I swear on camera? I don't know. How hard you work, right? That they can relate to it, be like, dang it, she runs her backside off every single game. I love how hard that center mid hits, right? Turn it into USA hockey if you want, right? Bang, explosive, and it's like, heck yeah, I love that. And now you start adding over time the flair into it, where you're like, dang, not only are they hitting hard, but that's a special player.
Absolutely.
I'll pay money just to watch her play. That's freakish what she does with the ball. And so that's what I want to build it into. A really attractive, fun thing to watch that people want to be a part of.
Yeah, for sure. And your introductory press conference, you talked a lot about your backgrounds, you know, where you came from, being born in Poland, and then the journey to multiple different countries with your family. We know a little bit about your background just when you visited class, but for those of you who may not know much about your background, describe that experience and how that's really shaped you into the person you are today.
Well, yeah. So born in Poland, escaped Poland when I'm 2 years old. My family runs away from the political situation at the time. Live in a refugee camp in Italy. Live in South Africa for 5 years, thinking that would be better than Poland, but the racial tensions of South Africa in the 80s were tough. Then we decided to leave there as well, moved to Australia, which was a much better setting, but moved all over Australia. Finally settled in at Canberra, and that's where I went to high school, which was really a big part of shaping me. Was an all-boys Catholic high school that I went to. It really helped me become the human being that I am today, and I'm very grateful for that. And then the journey kind of took off to America from there. But leave Poland, move to Italy, not Italian. Leave Italy, move to South Africa. You're not South African. You're just some weirdo outsider, right? Come to Australia, you're a weirdo outsider. Come to America, you're the immigrant guy, right? Never fit in anywhere. And so the mindset of I have to prove myself everywhere comes from that. My whole life I've been, who is this person? Why is he here? Well, let me show you that I'm just as good as you, and that soon turned into that I'm just better, right? Watch how hard I'm going to do everything I possibly can to outwork you to show that I belong and that I can thrive in no matter the setting that I'm in. And so that's where that piece kind of comes from. It's a deep internal drive because that's my entire upbringing has just been that, every single setting. Right? It's been really, really hard. And at one point I lost my voice. I think I mentioned in the class, I developed a stutter because of the anxiety that we had of moving all the time. So it couldn't even be verbal anymore. It had to be, I have to show you the things that I can do athletically for me in soccer. And so that's kind of what led that piece in. And then every place that we moved to, this was interesting too, you show up in South Africa and the community you create is the immigrant community, the other outsiders. And so for me, that's always just been a big piece of, I don't care where you're from, as long as you and I can value the same things, we can get along. And you look at our program now, it's a values-based program, it's got its purpose, and everybody's like, we get along so well. And then, why is that the case? I ask the team all the time. And they're like, because we value the same things. Exactly. Doesn't matter if you're coming from Japan or Germany or Pennsylvania. If you love working hard, right? If you believe in relentless effort, if you love waking up every single day, right? If you do value the things that we value, we can all get along because we're technically the same. We just look different. And so that, again, the upbringing of moving around so much allowed me to realize that it doesn't matter where people are from. If we can, find similar things to value, we can get along well together and we can do amazing things together. So yeah, as much as I hated it growing up at times, it's allowed me to be this version of me now.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's like you were saying, those upbringings, those kind of hardships kind of mold the person that someone becomes. And I think like even in our short time talking with one another, you are very deep thinking, almost philosophical kind of person. Can you kind of peel back that curtain a little bit? What are some of the most important principles or some of the most important values that you kind of live by day to day? Yes.
Yeah, and so the program values are the same values that we have at home. So joy is a big one. And joy, we had to define this as a team because it's just, I'm happy every day. Well, I love waking up in the morning. I love working really hard. I love winning. I love competing. I love the smell of Taylor when I walk into it and then seeing my student athletes as soon as I cross the threshold. If you peel that back a little bit, I'm grateful for those things. And we had to have that conversation as a team. I'm not looking for you to be joyful. Joy will come from you being grateful for it. If you show up, you're like, I hate fitness. I hate workouts in the morning. If your mindset isn't correct, you're not a joyful person. And that's our highest mountain peak in our value diagram is that one. That joy piece really matters to me. You got to have that kind of personality that I love the challenge of life. And I don't care how hard it gets. I just keep going because this is awesome. Relentless effort is another one for us. Relentless being the difference between a senior and a freshman. The freshman thinks she's working hard. The senior with 2 ACLs will still outrun you even though she was out for a month. She can just hit another level of humanity that you can't even experience yet. And she can get there. So let me teach you how to work really hard. Integrity is just character across the board, which is a really interesting thing to look at. And once you're in the program enough, you learn to observe that I'll get certain behaviors from student athletes face to face with me, but then how are they to their professors in the classroom? Are they disrespectful there? Are they still nice there? You know, how are they with their friends? Are they making decisions that align with the values of the program, or does the character change depending on the situation that you're in? I want solid across the board. And then, of course, togetherness. If you believe that people do things better together, then you're a part of us.
Absolutely.
That's just it, right?
Yeah.
And the goal, because there has to be a train, the train has to be going somewhere, otherwise why do you get on the train? The goal is to run the best women's soccer program in the nation. So you share all these things up front. The Zoom call I have later today, I share all of these things. And then I say to them, is this something you want to be a part of? Is this you? If it is you, come and visit.
Right.
If it's not you, don't even bother. I'm not bringing in somebody here, as I used to as a younger coach. Just come in, I'll teach you how to do it. If you're not a good fit, you're not a good fit, that's fine, go somewhere else. I'll find the right fit here and we'll have success pretty quickly because of it. So we're trying to run a top program, and certain kids hear that, they could just get fired up. They're like, yeah, that's me. Yes, you are one of us, right? I found you, you found me, let's get together, let's get you out here and see if this is a good fit in terms of Pullman and the university as well.
Yeah, and bringing in a good chunk of your players from Montana, obviously you're going to have some continuity, some chemistry there.
Yes.
But there's still a good number of returners from last season as well. How has that meshing process been so far in getting not only the returning Cougs, but also your former Grizz players to buy in together on that same vision that you
Correct.
always talk about?
Yeah, so one of them, you know, the core group already understands, the other ones are learning, and you got to break old habits, recreate new ones. As my associate head coach Molly would say, we're in the storming phase. So the first one is that honeymoon phase. Yes, new coach, let's do these things. We all get along. And then the honeymoon kind of fades off. And now it's like, you kind of annoy me, right? And I don't like this, don't like that. And it's, if we can get through that phase together, which is where you start teaching communication skills, right? Where you just start teaching, this is how we get along, this is how it's going to be difficult, because we're going through the storming phase in the most difficult part of the year, where conditioning is wrecking you every single day and psychologically testing you every single day. And you're just edgy. And there's not enough sunlight, and it's freaking cold, and it's so difficult, and we're storming together as a team at the same time. We have to teach them things off the field, hence the meeting about joy and gratuity and what it actually means, so that we can change their mindset when they show up in the mornings. Why are you whining about things? As an 8-year-old, all you ever wanted was to play D1 soccer. Here you are. You actually secretly want this thing. I know it's difficult, but learn to love it, right?
Yeah.
And if you don't love the activity itself, don't you love the fact that you get to do it with your teammates? Because the first thing any senior that graduates tells me, I wish I could do one more fitness session. Even if it was that, I just want to feel like that again with my teammates, because I never get to experience that again. Goosebumps, let's go, right? Like, learn to love this thing, so, yeah.
Absolutely, I think it's definitely like a process, like you said, like bringing everyone together in that sort of way. And so I'm curious, like during this process, how are you able to measure success within your group beyond just, you know, maybe on the field winning? How are you able to measure success, maybe behind the scenes a little bit?
Yeah, measure literally everything. We measure their jumps. Almost everybody has hit a new PR on vertical jumps, which is awesome, right? We're measuring their weights, we're measuring their speeds, we're measuring how hard they compete. We measure over the course of a spring. Every Tuesday is a competitive Tuesday. And so we track who's scoring goals, who's getting assists, and who's winning. Teams get mixed all the time, and we play for a little Cougar statue, right? And Hannah James, local Pullman kid right now, is leading it. She just has the it factor, who whichever team she's on happens to win. And that's not by accident, because she's one of the leading goal scorers. She's just insane, right? The effort she puts in. So we literally track everything. Because if you're not process orientated, as I went through my 3rd and 4th season at Montana when I absolutely hated winning, and it was just destroying my love of the game. I didn't like coaching anymore. I had to learn how to love the process of doing things, which allowed me to unlock new levels of myself as a coach.
Absolutely, yeah.
And with your success at Montana, appearing in the tournament, 4 times?
Yeah.
And those 9 combined Big Sky titles between the tournaments and the regular season titles as well. Coming into this new situation with the new Pac-12 coming in and all of that, how do you foresee that, this season going? What kind of challenges are you expecting, and what are you expecting kind of the transition to be from Big Sky play to Pac-12 play now?
Yeah, we had built, the goal at Montana was never to be the top Big Sky team, it was to be one of the best teams in the region. And look at our regional rankings over the past 2 years. We fell out of it one time this prior season, like the 7th week or something, we dropped out. Otherwise, we were always in the top 10 of the region. Right? So we were always one of the most competitive teams regionally. We only lost to Boise one time in my 8 years there.
Wow.
Right? And so, yes, Gonzaga was always a foe, but finally got the result there. And so we were used to playing high-level teams. We played Oklahoma, we beat Oklahoma, tied Ohio State, right? We were playing high-level teams because I was never trying to compete with just the Big Sky. It was always bigger. So how do I build a program that can function at a really high level in case I ever move? And I'm already prepared for what that looks like. And so Pac-12 is going to be awesome. It's a really competitive soccer conference, and the fact that we'll only have 4 teams in the conference tournament makes it immensely difficult to try to get in there.
Yeah. Talk a little bit more about that conference tournament structure, because past few years in the WCC, it's been quite a bit different, and a lot of us have not really seen that kind of play and not even been able to witness the Pac-12 conference when it used to be a soccer powerhouse. What does that structure look like?
Yeah, so it'll be, again, new Pac-12, so new things coming together. Coaches wanted 6 teams. I think the Pac-12 made the decision of 4 correctly, because imagine if you're the number 1 seed and you end up having to play 6 beats 3, so now you're playing the 6th seed and you end up losing that game. It hurts your RPI.
Yeah.
And so because you don't win the conference tournament, you're out. It might knock you out of an automatic qualifier spot for the NCAA tournament. So 4 teams just protects the higher seeds a little bit better. But still waiting to hear guidance on what it looks like. If it's going to be the higher seed hosts, if it's I don't know, neutral site. We're waiting to figure that out still.
Gotcha. Yeah, so still some unknowns as we're going in that new Pac-12, which is so interesting to see on the football side, soccer side, and see how it's really affecting every single sport.
Yeah, I was interested by the flex game that football created, and I'm like, why would that not work in soccer? Because we're all looking at our schedule now, and I know there's going to be an empty weekend for all of us. It's like, I like the flex idea. Why can't we just play somebody else again?
Yeah,
right?
Why not? Yeah, I like it too.
Kind of looking at that schedule and playing at this level, give our viewers a little bit of insight as to what's that's like, to play at this level. Is there any kind of like pressure that you experience on the game, in the build up to it? What does that kind of look like on your end?
Yeah. Oh, it's terrible. The same thing as the players, right? You have to grow to love it. It just has to be something that you want to do, right? And I have to remind myself that all the time. I've wanted to be here. I've wanted to do these things. And any coach that tells you, oh, no, it's great, I'm fine all the time, is a flat-out liar, right? We're all human beings. So the fact that Bill Walsh could say that, and he was one of the most successful football coaches ever, I hate coaching. I don't like this. I despise game days. I had to learn how to love it. Awesome. Great, right? And so that gave me the freedom to be able to say something like this to you right now. It's really difficult, but if my process is done correctly, if my coaching staff is good, if I can prep the best possible way, fingers crossed, everything falls into place on game day.
Yeah, absolutely. You mentioned Bill Walsh there as well. Is there any other kind of inspirations on that coaching level to you?
Oh, plenty. Yeah. So in terms of mentors, plenty of them are dead, right? But I'll read. I read literally everything I can get my hands on. So Herb Brooks was by far the biggest one. Absolutely adore Herb Brooks. And that led into rabbit holes on Bill Walsh and Tony Dungy, specifically Coach K, even Bobby Knight. I haven't thrown any chairs, but awesome, right? I mean, talk about a winner right there. And then just surround myself with as many high-level coaching contacts that I can just reach out to anytime I want and just get feedback, right? Because the more I'm evolving, and how unfair is it to say to the team, you need to be evolving, you need to be getting better at things. Meanwhile, me, the hypocrite, sits here on the couch and does nothing, right? Every year I'm getting better, and I have to, because the year that I stop, everybody catches up, and now I'm going to have major issues as a coach.
Yeah, for sure.
Just keep trugging along, and let's say Pac-12 happens this year and we finish 5th. You don't think I'm going to be fired up to fix that for the following year? I'm not going to whine and moan and cry about it. Fix it, get better.
Yeah.
Because Montana, year 1, we won, but we snuck into playoffs on the last day of the season. We finished 5th, right? It was one of the worst seasons I've had in terms of coaching, of putting a team together, but we found solutions, and that triggered everything else the following year because we learned our lessons. So it's just one of those things that if it falls short, it was meant to fall short. So I can learn the lessons I have to learn to start winning again.
Yeah, for sure. Do you feel like that mindset that you just talked about there is kind of the reason you've been able to so seamlessly transition through the levels of soccer, from coaching, at the lowest levels up to D2, D1, and now to where you are now?
Yeah. No, that's it. Yep. It always has to be, and I expect the exact same thing from the players.
Sure.
Identical, right? You have to have that mindset. No time spent whining and moaning and, oh no, why isn't this happening? Find a solution, get better. That's it.
Yeah, for sure. For Cougar fans going into the season, obviously it's early, still, getting to know your roster and all of that. What are some key things that fans really should be looking out for this upcoming season? Maybe players to know, things to know about play style, anything that you want Cougar fans to know ahead of time, like this is the kind of soccer you're going to be watching.
Yeah, another good question. Like I said up front, an aggressive playing style in terms of trying to get the ball back. So
Right.
the work ethic's always going to be there. You should be able to show up and be like, I love the amount of effort they put into things, right? The competitiveness has to be on a completely different chart. And so the game should be spicy. And spicy games are fun to watch, right? Because the
Yeah,
other team will
absolutely, I agree.
respond to that. And so the spiciness level will be great. There's a lot of talent in terms of creativity on the squad already. It's just when they're willing to be unlocked on the biggest stage, if they can execute in those moments. But we got some special players who can do some special things. Nothing I want to give away yet because I don't think it's ready to do. But yeah, it should be just a lot of fun to watch, to be honest. I would hope so anyway.
That's all we can ask for.
Yes, yeah, right. That's it, right?
Being fun to watch is always important.
Yeah.
And to break the fourth wall a little bit, you know, we kind of talked about this in class, but any fun themes a little bit that we can kind of expect? Maybe like a DJ, I think you mentioned previously.
Oh, yeah, so we always try, like, what do you do to get people to show up? Win. That's the most important one, right? You don't need a DJ when you're winning a lot. But you've got to create environments. Like, I was just watching some Champions League on in the background in the office now, and it's Liverpool playing at Galatasaray, one of the hardest places to play in Europe. Such a just insane fan section. I want an insane fan section. And Montana people hated coming there to play because, not that it was abusive, but it was loud, it was obnoxious, it just annoyed you.
Yeah.
I want that setting here.
It's a good thing.
Right? I
Yeah.
want as many of the neutral students, fraternities, sororities, and then of course in terms of our student section that we have, right? I want all three involved in coming to games. And I don't want golf fans. Yay, that was a good shot. Just give me something, right? It should be edgy. The style will be edgy and fun and entertaining if the environment is too. Our job is to ignite the environment. They show up, Carly smacks someone in midfield, and everybody's like, yeah, cool. Bring the energy onto the field, please.
Right.
I need a 12th man, so to speak, desperately. So you guys will play heavily into this if it's done correctly.
Yeah, we're going to do our best out there for sure.
I like that
Awesome.
point of it, yeah.
Talk a little bit about the spring schedule that's coming up. Obviously, you've got Idaho, Eastern, Spokane, Zephyr.
Yeah.
What are you excited for with that, and what should fans know about that?
Yeah, I'm actually going to put out a tweet about it before our Thursday game of how I do it.
Yeah.
It's because if you're showing up being like, oh, they're going to try to win this game. Yes, of course we want to win, but everybody gets playing time. So you get to see the future of the program, and you get to see the best players right now.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's cool it's similar to a spring football game, right? Just don't expect it to be glamorous, but enough to be like, geez, freaking awesome. I can't wait to see this team later, right? Zephyr will be a little bit different because, of course, we've got to put out a good lineup there.
Yeah.
But should be good. Idaho, same thing, right? Rivalry type situations, everybody close by.
Yeah.
And future springs, trying to turn the whole spring into a professional setting.
Yeah.
So Rain, Portland Thorns, NWSL teams if we can, and Zephyr, and just have a ton of fun with that.
Yeah. Do you foresee that being something that's capable to happen every single spring?
Yes.
Yeah.
100%. Yep.
Absolutely. I think that provides a lot of value for the players. Is there, what do you think that brings to the players to play that kind of professional experience?
That's huge.
Yeah.
It's how many of them want to come here and play professionally? Many.
Yeah.
Right? They want to follow the path of a Morgan Weaver and be a pro. And let me put you in front of the pros every single spring. And now they get a look at you. So it's secretly great for them because they get to recruit our players early. And for us, it's awesome because we get to play the highest level in the world
Yeah.
to make us better.
I love it.
Totally. We definitely grilled you with a lot of questions
Yeah.
here today. Is there anything that you kind of wish we talked about, or anything that you just want to say to the people while you have the chance here?
I just love being here. Yeah, it's awesome. Like we talked early on, of like the support of this community is great. And I want it to come into the stadium. I want this to be a very unique soccer setting. I know Mississippi State have a nut fan section. It's such a difficult place to play.
Yeah.
Why do you think they rank so high in the nation? Right? Same with Arkansas. You look at the highest level programs across the country, they have crazy fan sections. The fans play into it. That's what I want. How do we create that here? And I'm working with some people on campus. You know, I come to classes, I talk to all sorts of people because we have to build this thing together. I want people bought into this and wanting us to win. Go through the lows, go through the highs, and just feel this program with me.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I think that speaks volumes to, again, the Cougar community and what you're bringing here. We love to see your vision. I think it's great. We're bought in with you, so hopefully this season goes well for you.
Yeah, thank you.
Good
Appreciate
stuff.
it.
Yeah,
This has
go-
been fun.
Yeah, go Cougs.
Yeah, go Cougs.
All right. After the break, we are going to have a little segment with Coach where we're going to test his roster building abilities. All right, welcome back to the Crimson Corner once again. And during the break, we let Coach build a roster of his, like an all-time roster of celebrities.
Yes.
He's going to go walk through his answers. This was kind of a tough challenge that we gave you, but we think, as a coach at the D1 level, I think you can handle any challenge.
Yes.
So give us your roster. Go ahead and just show the whiteboard to the camera just real quick. And then go ahead and you don't have to hold it the whole time, but go ahead and explain your answers.
Steve Nash in goal, right?
Okay.
Nash is a high-level soccer player himself. Plus, he's got the hand coordination, right? So he's going to be able to catch things, throw them out. Decent height, no issues on set pieces. I am a massive Formula One fan. If you know enough about Formula One, you know who the soccer junkies are. Charles Leclerc as a starting right back would be awesome.
Okay.
Kobe Bryant. Gone. I understand. Love the guy. He can be my left back. The guy's got an engine. He can run. He can defend quite well.
Love
right?
it.
One of the smartest soccer analysts I've ever seen on TV is actually Prince William. And so having him at center back organizing things would be pretty awesome. Partnered with Tom Cruise. Tall and short. Cruise can do the running, right? Top Gun his way through everything. Let's go freaking Maverick. Bring the heart.
Cruise.
Yeah, the race.
Exactly.
Yes.
And if we really need to shut it down, put Cruise on the outside and he can run and Kobe can come in the middle. It's going to be epic.
I like
right?
his back line.
Yes. In the middle, IQ. Who has IQ? Mark Rober. So we bring in Mark Rober, stick him in the middle. It's going to be awesome. Partner up the IQ with somebody tall who can wreck people, LeBron James. Right? So LeBron James and Mark Rober together is exciting, and then put the arrogant, cocky Max Verstappen sitting right in front of them in Formula One. And you've got somebody who can, has a nose for goal and wants to prove himself all the time.
Absolutely.
To unbalance an opponent's backline, you need athleticism, right? So we're going to go with Usain Bolt on one side of the field.
Smart.
I mean, the guy's got a ton of pace. He's going to go, right? Matthew McConaughey is just a lovely human being. So we're going to put him on the other side. You'll be so enamored by his, personality that you don't want to defend him. And then to really screw up the center backs, because for me, the game is all about manipulating the two center backs. And controlling them so that we can find spaces. The best person to do that, in my opinion, and you can tell me whether or not you agree or disagree here, right? We can do a poll online. This person will screw with them psychologically at the highest possible levels. Will Ferrell.
Wow.
I love it.
Yes.
Yes. This is an interesting starting 11. You got the combination of athletes, tall and small. You got actors.
We got IQ. And we have
you got a little
humor
bit of everything.
and a lot of personality.
Who's the captain? That's my key.
Somebody that can keep it all together. He is a prince. It's got to be Prince William, right? He's got to take care of it. So, smart, gets the game, and royalty. I mean, hey, if you listen to me, I'll knight you, and it'll be Sir Ferrell for the rest of time. So there you go.
Man, talk about your philosophy just real quick going into this, because to me, this is a very interesting collection of people. I think it works the way you explained it. It sounds great. Where does this vision come from?
I have no idea.
I love it.
The universe just spoke to me, and I was like, this is going to make sense. If I was to pick out maybe a weak link, maybe Matthew McConaughey out wide might be a little weak. So the question would be, who would be the first sub? And I haven't gone that deep yet.
Right.
If he's trying to be too cool, then just get off the field. Somebody else can go on who wants to run, right?
Yeah. Are you concerned about the lack of athleticism in some of those actors? Besides Tom Cruise, of course.
Will Ferrell? Yes, absolutely. But we unlock his other natural gifts, which is just screw with the backline, man.
Yeah. And if that's going to do the trick, then hey, I see the vision.
Then we're going to be all right.
Moses, what do you think of the lineup?
I think it's going to work out. I love the pick of Verstappen. Obviously, I'm a huge F1 fan myself.
Yes.
I was a little bit miffed at the Leclerc mention, but maybe Norris would be a good sub. I don't know. I'm just spitballing a little bit here.
Norris, maybe. I'm more of a Piastri fan. So, yes, the evil arc of Piastri is going to be awesome. I cannot wait for it. He is Anakin Skywalker turning into Darth Vader one day. Definitely is what we see with Piastri.
I love it.
Good at crashing out before a race, apparently.
Yeah, that was a bad one. Yes, that destroyed me this past weekend. So,
Where would you slot Piastri in on the lineup if you had somewhere to put him?
Yeah, he doesn't have a lot of personality, so you got to put him somewhere where he can just be on his own. So maybe the left wing would be good for him. Yeah.
Hey, I like it. Good stuff.
Solid lineup, I think.
Solid
lineup.
Good lineup, right?
Lineup,
Completely different, and why not? I was going to go into the NFL a little bit, but now what's the point?
Yeah,
right?
I think you've got a good list there.
This people will pay to come and watch.
I would pay. I can attest to that.
Yeah, right?
Absolutely.
Exactly.
I love it. Awesome, Coach. Thank you for your time. We appreciate it. Great to have you on the podcast.
Yeah.
And again, we're excited for this season. Hopefully it's going to be a fun time.
Awesome. Yeah, let's do it again soon.
Sounds good. All right. Go
Thanks,
Cougs.
guys. Go Cougs.
All right.